Hello, friends. I'm Rita Boyer, the educator at Prospect Presbyterian Church in Maplewood, New Jersey. Welcome to the ConnectEd Storytime video for December the 5th. Well, this is week 2 of Advent, and so we light 2 candles on our Advent wreath. We begin with the one that we lit last Sunday. And we light one more purple candle. Half of our candles are lit already, 2 out of the 4. We know that Advent is a time of waiting and preparing. And one of the things that I do as I prepare has to do with surprises. Do you like surprises? Well, I like to give surprises at this time of year. And so I spend time thinking about how I can surprise the people who are special to me. For example, I might be thinking about someone's favorite cookie that I bake, and I might bake them that cookie and give it to them as a surprise. Or I might be making or buying a gift for that person. And of course, once I have the gift, I wrap it and I hide it so that I can keep it a surprise. Oh, there are a lot of secrets this time of year because we want to make sure that we are surprising people as we show them how special they are to us and how much we love them. Well, many of our Advent stories are about surprises as well, because God is always doing surprising things. In fact, the most surprising things of all. In today's story, God surprises Zechariah and his wife, Elizabeth. It's a story we find in the Gospel of Luke in the New Testament, the very first chapter of Luke. I'm sharing this story with you as it is retold by our friends at Seasons of the Spirit, and I am very grateful that they have given us permission to share the story online. It is titled Zechariah, Elizabeth, and John. Long ago in the land of Judah, there lived a priest named Zechariah. Zechariah was married to Elizabeth. They loved God and lived in God's way, but Zechariah and Elizabeth were sad because they had no children. One day, Zechariah was praying in the temple. The temple was like a church. Zechariah and Elizabeth were Jewish, and they worshiped God in the temple. He looked and saw what seemed to be an angel with a special message. Well, Zechariah was very surprised. He didn't see angels every day. "Don't be afraid," Zechariah heard the angel say. "You and Elizabeth will have a baby. You will call the baby John. John will be a great prophet and help people to live in God's way." What a surprising message. Zechariah didn't think it was possible. He and Elizabeth were too old to have a baby. Zechariah was so surprised that he became speechless. He couldn't say anything. Not one word, not one sound, not even a squeak. What a surprise. When Zechariah walked outside, people could see he was excited, but he still couldn't talk. They were surprised that the priest couldn't speak. After a time, Elizabeth and Zechariah did have a baby. They were very happy. Soon it was time to choose a name. Everyone thought the baby would be called Zechariah, just like his father. "No," Elizabeth said, "the baby's name is John." Well, when friends and relatives heard that the baby would be called John, they said to one another, "What a surprise! He's not being named after his father, Zechariah." Why, none of their relatives are named John. What a surprising name. Zechariah was still speechless, so he took a pen and wrote, "The baby's name is John." And suddenly, Zechariah could speak. What a surprise! God gave Zechariah a special message to speak that day. Holding the baby in his arms, Zechariah began to sing. "You, my little child, will be called a prophet of God. You will tell the good news of God's love. You will help the people to welcome God's chosen one. God's love will shine on us, and we will learn peace." Well, those were beautiful surprises, don't you think? When we are really surprised, we sometimes say that we are speechless. Have you ever been so surprised that you couldn't talk? You just didn't know what to say? Well, that's what happened to Zechariah, but he was speechless for quite a long time. And no wonder. Not only were he and Elizabeth too old to have a baby, but this baby was chosen by God to do some very important work, to be a messenger for God and to prepare people for Jesus. We don't have to wait to grow up for God to choose us for important work. In fact, we are all messengers for God. Maybe it's surprising to think of yourself that way, but you can bring God's messages of hope and love and peace to others. Now, this time of year, we do see a lot of angels as decorations. If you come to my house, you'll see a lot of angels. When I decorate the tree, my Christmas tree has angels from top to bottom. Angels in the Bible are messengers of God. And at ppcfaithformation.org/children, you can find the story that I shared with you today and instructions for making a paper plate angel. The story's at the top of the page, and then the instructions for how to start with a paper plate and end up with an angel that you can use to decorate your home this Advent and Christmas. You'll also find this coloring page, A World of Peace. So I hope that you'll check those printable activities out and think about how you can be a messenger for God this week. Would you please pray with me? Loving God, we give thanks for your surprising love and for all of the marvelous surprises you give to us out of that love. Help us to carry your message wherever we go. Amen. Have a great week. I hope to see you next week when we light the third candle. I wonder which candle we will light. We'll talk about that next week. Bye-bye.